Hi, Bryte Church. Hope you guys are doing well. Wanted to share another devotional with you all. If you've had some time, maybe to dig through old pictures, recently before getting married a couple of years ago, we went through our pictures, and I was digging up pictures when I was in high school and middle school. And one thing kept coming up at almost every picture, because we thought we were cool, was the peace sign. I mean, it was like this, and it was like this, and it was like this. Every way you have it, there was a peace sign, and there were the pictures, two hands, everything. And as I start remembering, between friends and between my brothers and everything, we'd be like, "Hey, peace," or "Hey, peace out, I'm out of here." We would kind of use that word to say, "See you later" or "bye" in a cool way, because we were cool back in middle school. So, and it's interesting that this has been used in the world quite a bit. In the Middle East, as they leave, they say, "Hey, peace be to you and your family," or "Peace to this house," and they leave. And this shalom that people use quite often in the Middle Eastern part of the world is kind of spread all over the world. And in the 60s we had this big peace movement, and no war and things of that nature. But that's the peace that we kind of see every day, the peace as the world describes it. But Jesus here is talking about a peace as well, and he's spending some time with his disciples for possibly the last couple conversations or couple meals, and he's setting this scenario. And if you have your Bibles, it's John 14:27. Jesus sits them down and he begins a conversation, and then he says the following, verse 27. He says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." And again, if we look at this context and we look at what is going on, Jesus is having this conversation, and he says that someone's going to betray me here in this group. And he also says, "I have to leave, or I'll be leaving." And he realizes that he's going to be dying. He will die soon. This is before the cross. And he's realizing all the things that are going to be happening. And it's almost kind of like his farewell conversation. And he says, I really have nothing to give, but I want to give you my peace. And this peace has helped him and is helping him currently to even say the things he says. I mean, he is hearing this next little section. He says, "My peace I give to you." He's saying the peace that I want to give to you is not as the world gives. We have the God bless yous and this, "Hey, I'll pray for you. Hey, God bless you, and may God give you peace." This kind of, he's not talking about that. This worldly greeting card kind of peace, that's not what he's talking about. He wants them to realize that the peace that he wants to give them is, he says, my peace. The peace of God the Son. The peace that's not connected to this thing, the things of this world. It's not connected to circumstances. It's not temporary or quickly fades. We're used to this worldly peace. People say, "Oh, I need some peace and quiet," or "I'm going to turn on the fountain music or this calming music on YouTube to give me peace." But there's no internal peace. There's no peace of the soul. There's no peace of the mind. We still have trouble sleeping, or we get anxious, we get anxiety. And this is why Jesus says, "I don't want to give you the peace that is this kind of peace. Like, hey, peace, it's going to be all right. He says, I want to give you my peace, the kind of peace that keeps me going, the kind of peace that is going to let me go to the cross and completely trust the Father in this situation. And it's interesting how he ends this verse 27. He says, let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. This is Jesus saying this before the cross. He says, let not your hearts be troubled. I have peace, and I want to share this peace with you. The question is, do we have this kind of peace? Do we have internal, deep peace that only comes from the Father, just like Jesus had? Jesus knows and understands all that will happen to him, and he's completely able to trust in God the Father. And he there even uses this time to encourage his disciples and says, hey, I want to share this with you. And he's also able to even talk with them and forgive them, because he knows that they will all abandon him and leave him. I mean, completely trusting in God, knowing all that's going to happen. This is the guy that is going to sweat blood because of so much stress, and then he's able to come up and take the mission that God prepared for him. Why? Because he has this peace. We get anxiety just before a test. We get anxiety in traffic. And so the question that I think we should look at is, do we have this peace that Jesus has? And if we don't, maybe we should recheck a few things and recheck our lives to see, well, Jesus says that he wants to give me his peace. He says, my peace I want to leave with you, not as this world gives. I want to give you my peace. So I really hope that we spend some time praying and reading this verse one more time, and to see this peace that Jesus had during his conversations with the disciples before the cross. Am I able to receive that from Jesus? And if not, maybe I need to ask him for it, and I need to spend some time praying and giving my anxiety. And just like Jesus says, when he's praying in the garden, he says, not my will, but your will be done. Knowing all the crazy torture and the pain that's going to come before him, he still had this peace. This is why he's able to say, I want to leave you my peace. So I hope that's encouraging to you. And if you're going through something, feel free to reach out to one of us, or obviously reach out to God the Father, just like Jesus did, and ask him for that peace, so that you know that the peace that God gives is not the worldly peace. It's way deeper and way more meaningful than just a temporary peace that we see in this world. So I hope this encourages you guys. God bless you, and may God's peace be with you guys as well.